Welcome to the 2023 Huntsville, Alabama real estate predictions. I've got 7 bold predictions plus a bonus prediction. Make sure you stay to the end because at the end I'm going to talk about what prices are likely to do this year and talk about a potential real estate crash. And before we jump into that, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can stay on top of all of the latest Huntsville, Alabama real estate news. All right, for number 1, let's start with interest rates because that's what's really driving this real estate market right now. And a lot of people, including myself, think here locally and nationally, once we hit the 5% interest rate mark, this market's really going to open back up in terms of volume and price appreciation. So the question is, when do we get to 5% and have real estate interest rates peaked? We saw interest rates in 2022 get above 7%. They've now come down into the 6s. Now, what is going to happen is the Fed continues to raise interest rates, yet at a slower rate. Now, I've really struggled with this one because the Fed is saying they're going to probably increase their overnight rate at least another 0.75 to 1 percentage point if you believe what they say. So I've struggled with, are we going to hit 7 to 8% or have we peaked? And here's my bold prediction. Since the interest rates have continued to increase with the Fed, I think a lot of this has already been priced in, and with consumer inflation starting to come down, I believe that interest rates have peaked, and I do not believe we'll see interest rates in the 7s. I think we'll see interest rates in the 6s this year, continue to start to come down, and in 2024, we're gonna hit that magic number of 5%. So number 2, because of these higher interest rates, I think we're gonna see fewer sales, and we're already starting to see it. We're about 30% off of the peak, both here locally and nationally. Real estate sales has peaked over 6 million homes sold nationally. I believe we'll see somewhere between 4 to 4.5 million homes sold in 2023, probably closer to that 4.25 to 4 million homes sold. And here locally, I believe we'll continue to stay 30% below what we saw during the last couple of years. And I believe that because we just have a town full of conservative engineers. But once we hit that magic 5% interest rate mark, I think this market again is going to start to explode in terms of volume, and we're going to hit that peak level again because there's actually 29.1% of the active renters today can afford the average median home. So there's a lot of people sitting on the sideline waiting for lower interest rates. With fewer home sales for number 2, that leads me to number 3, which is a flight to quality from the consumer. For the last couple of years, you could hire any real estate agent to sell your home. This next market is just not going to be that. And so with half of our local real estate agents selling between 0 to 2 homes per year, the consumer is really going to wise up to that and choose the best. And so the last time that we had this number of homes sold, the 4 million homes sold range, we had about 500 to 600,000 fewer real estate agents than we have today. So my bold prediction is 1 out of every 3 real estate agents leave the market in 2023. Prediction number 4 deals with new construction. Since we have higher interest rates, fewer home sales, builders are starting to slow down their production, and the challenge is they are not likely to keep up with demographic changes. So since we're continuing to have new family formations, we're simply not going to build enough homes during this period. We already have a 5.5 million home deficit nationwide, and that deficit is likely to increase over the next year due to these higher interest rates, fewer sales, builders getting conservative. And on top of that, we also have a transformer challenge where a lot of builders are struggling to even put home sites on the ground because they can't get these necessary transformers to build on those lots. Number 5 is I believe rents begin to fall. We've had a very strong real market with prices increasing. We've also had low vacancy rates, but I believe rents are going to start to fall, especially as we see lowering interest rates attracting a lot of those 29.1% of buyers that are renting that can afford the median price home. That's going to lower the demand for the rental market and decrease prices. I think we're going to see probably somewhere around 5 to 10% decrease. 5% on the conservative side, 10% if you think we have too many apartment complexes in this area. So number 6, what are real estate values gonna do in 2023? This is what you've been waiting for. So in general, it's gonna depend on the submarket that you're in. You're gonna hear a lot of national news about home prices falling, but it's gonna depend on the market that you're in. The South is performing and will perform much better than, say, the West or the North. And it's going to depend also within the submarkets of Huntsville. There's areas that are going to do better because of the school districts, the price points, in general, I think this market is going to stay fairly flat in 2023. The big thing that I think we'll see is values increase slightly below 300,000, and that 300 to 400,000 price point. I think that's where you're going to see, flat values. 400 and above, I think you're going to see several price drops and even price decreases on a lot of those homes in 2023. Now, watch for interest rates to come down to 5%. Some economists are predicting that we may see that around Q3. I think it might actually happen more likely in 2024. But either way, whenever that happens, likely, expect to see that we're going to have price increases at that point, as those 29.1% of renters that can afford that average median priced home get off the sidelines and start to purchase again. All right, so number 7, I promised to talk about the real estate crash, and here it is. It's already happened. And it's not happening like a lot of people are expecting. It's not a price crash. This is a supply crash. And this all goes back to 2008, where we had prices crash and fall. And what happened was builders slowed down the production of homes. We had increased demographics, new family formations, but we simply did not build enough homes during that period. I think it was somewhere on the order of 12 million new families formed, but only about 7 million new homes built. So that left this 5 to 5.5 million home deficit where we currently stand today. And the challenges with 2023, builders are beginning to slow down once again, so that supply imbalance is likely to continue to increase. So what happened is we had too few of homes going into the pandemic. Interest rates dropped to extremely low level. We increased the demand, the supply couldn't keep up, and so that's where we ended up with record high price appreciation. So the challenge is, once we see interest rates hit that 5% mark again, we're likely to increase the demand. Supply has not kept up, so we're going to likely see very strong appreciation going forward, again, once we see 5% interest rates. Here's my bonus prediction for 2023. I predict that Matt Curtis Real Estate will remain the #1 real estate team in Alabama for the 4th year in a row. And if you're thinking about buying or selling in 2023, you deserve to work with the best. Give us a call today at 256-333-MOVE or visit us online at mattcurtisrealestate.com.